though? What the though? What the
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
Four down, check, four down. Slam.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Nice hit, baby.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And that's incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and 4.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Play action. It's Darnold. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. T.J. Green with a pick. Then he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Over.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this is going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Looking to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. Bryant with a catch right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Here's Bernard. And an alley to run. Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 60 yards. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll come out in the pistol.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here.
No,
3rd and goal from the 2. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
This is Hines. Room to run again. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
He'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Colts add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tall.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
4 down.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down. Gun.
They'll run it here with Bernard. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
and it is cold,
and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The Pro Bowler, Chris Harris, is in on the tackle.
You don't want no problem from me.
Now a toss play. It's Hines. Room to run inside the 40. Powering his way forward. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for Indy. Give him 52 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line, I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And that gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run with Hines. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Darnold. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold eluding the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They run with Hines. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Here's Hines, and he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Set! Blue line it! Blue line
Now Bernard. And an alley to run. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Detroit! Detroit!
Darnold from the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Darnold. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run. This is Bernard. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Darnold. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Danico Autry forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Gone!
Darnold. And that's incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Third and long, it's Darnold. And an alley to run. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they've been moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37th. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run again with Hines. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second down and 10. Darnold finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now running right through it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
From the 50, it's Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the air again, Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
On 4th down, Darnold to the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. A gain of 12 on 4th and 10, just enough for the conversion. And defensively, an opportunity slips away. This quarterback now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%, but he does have a 1st and 10.
Go. Green 39. Green 39.
Darnold to throw again. Forced out to his left. That's caught out left by Perriman. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Brashad Perriman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now, third and long.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw here. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Hines on a toss play, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, now
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
I'll tell you, bro.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Bust through the tackle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Looking deep downfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Play action. They'll throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Dorsett on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. So out now come the Jets. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this is incomplete. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Colts on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Check, Patriot!
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
The Jets on 3rd down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Darnold from the gun. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And it is incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a tough blow to their playoff